I love you all, but you gotta sit down. Hello? Can I ask you all to take your seats, please? Good evening. Hello? Hey! Good evening. My name is Michael Reinert, and thanks very much. No. As dinner chair for tonight's event, as well as being a member of the board of directors of the MMRF, and most importantly, as a fellow patient, I want to welcome you, and I want to say thank you all very much for being here tonight. Before we get to business at hand, a couple of quick acknowledgements. First, to the most outstanding event team ever, to Jerry, Amy, Ann, Laura, and everybody on staff, just please, year after year. And I am, on a personal note, so touched that so many of Karen and mine's friends are here tonight to support us, but in particular, there are two gentlemen who I have to express my thanks to. For well over 20 years, we've been colleagues, but more than that, we've been dear friends. They have agreed this year to be the co-chairs of our Entertainment Industry Committee. Their support, their love, and sacrifice, and I'll tell you that story later, is so, so greatly appreciated. Please, Mr. Monty Lippman and Mr. Rick Krim. So, everyone here tonight has a job to do. Yours is pretty simple. Save lives. And by the way, you're doing a hell of a job. Round of applause, come on. You're doing a hell of a job. You see those totals? Thank you. But you see, my job is a little bit more complicated, but a lot more fun. Because as a way of saying thank you to you for everything you do, I get to help throw this party. And I came up with a slogan for this year. We're not going to party like there's no tomorrow. We're going to party because there is one. Now, the best part of my job is that every year I get to ask incredible, amazing people to lend their good names, goodwill, and their support in our effort to find a cure. And tonight is certainly no exception. So, to present the 2013 MMRF Courage and Commitment Award, I'd like to introduce last year's Spirit of Hope Award honoree, a dear friend of the MMRF family and mine, Mr. Clive Davis.
So before I get to what I'm here to do, I do want to preface my remarks by adding a personal note to you, Barry Gordy, and your being presented this evening, the Spirit of Hope Award. As just one of many people in music here tonight, we are all in your debt for the incredible pioneering work that you did in song and artist discovery in music itself. So congratulations to you. And now, my remarks will be in connection with the presentation of the Courage and Commitment Award. And I just couldn't think of two more fitting words to identify someone than the words courage and commitment, which describe the award being given to this honoree this evening. By the time I met him in the year 1998, he had already vividly shown his unique and his sterling character traits. Growing up on a farm in South Africa, where the nearest home was a few miles away, he poured himself into his education to aspire to a career path that would lead him away from the animals to a much larger role on the world stage. And so he went to college in Johannesburg. He came to Los Angeles in 1988 to join Warner Chappell Music, and then 5 years later, he moved to Capitol Records, where he literally soared to the position of Executive Vice President. And then in 1998, he and I met. I needed an executive vice president and general manager of Arista Records. The company had been growing by leaps and bounds, and our mission was to have a lean operation where the profits would reflect our burgeoning worldwide sales. In having this honoree join us, we got much, much more. Here was someone who totally understood who he was and what he personally could do best, and so importantly, what he would and should lead to others. In the music business, everyone feels he or she can do A&R, the creative area of music where artists are discovered and songs are found, hoping that they could be long-lasting hits. More careers of very talented executives are cut short. They're cut short because of a miscalculation that they can do A&R. Our honoree knew better. Business was his forte, and he was indeed the real deal. I personally had not met anyone with his degree of expertise, his street smarts, intelligence, and practical experience and know-how. He became, in short order, not just my invaluable number two man, but he became my partner. And we immediately bonded and thrived together. And then came the year 2000, when our parent company asked me to become a corporate chairman. Since I was, at that point, past 60 years old, and according to their tradition, when you hit 60, you must leave the front ranks or ascend to a higher order. Well, I liked the front ranks, and I wasn't ready to ascend. I told this to our honoree, and what did he say? He said that he didn't move from California to New York to have me ascend. Let's plan our future together, he added. And despite what would otherwise be tempting offers to tear up his contract and substantially increase his compensation, he stated simply that his commitment was to me, and he intended to keep that commitment. And so the two of us, we flew to Hawaii, and we planned the structure of what would be the biggest new label ever formed in the history of music, J Records. He had the courage, with his wife and two lovely daughters in tow, to dare to look to something brand new, an often risky dream for many. And then he was to vividly demonstrate that he is a leader of men. It was he who went to meet with each of the top 15 executives of Arista, convincing them to believe in our dream. And I must say that for me, the proudest professional moment of my life has been that every single one of those 15 top executives joined us at J. And so overnight, what was the entire executive team of Arista became the entire executive leaders of J. For that they, and certainly he, will always have my eternal gratitude. And so watching from a distance these last few years, it has not at all been a surprise to me that our honoree's career has continued to soar. When he decided to join TouchTunes Interactive Networks, you just knew that the company would have a whole new source of energy, imagination, and success, and that is just what's happened. The company has had explosive growth, and I'm positive that the TouchTunes team loves coming to work every day, where they share a common bond of trusting their leader, his impeccable honesty, his amazing drive, determination, and vision. So look, I was honored here last year, and I became immersed in the wonderful goals, the mission, and the realized accomplishments of the Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation. The work that you do is absolutely inspiring, and it's touching to the core. So I'm a total believer in the cause. And by now, I'm sure you've guessed that I'm a total believer in your honorees. I'm personally very moved to be here tonight to present the Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation 2013 Award for Courage and Commitment to a very special man, Charles Goldstuck.
Thank you for your kind introduction, Clive. You've been a great friend, partner, and mentor throughout the years. You've also been a great friend and supporter of the MMRF. You are always referred to as the man with the golden ears, but you truly are the man with a golden heart. Thank you for all you do for other people, Clive. So over the years, I've been privileged to witness the MMRF grow into the force that it has become. I've always marveled at how this amazing organization has been able to do so much good with such limited resources. So earlier this year, when Kathy and Michael asked me if I would like to participate in this year's gala, I began reflecting on just what it was that is so special about the MMRF to so many of us. As an entrepreneur, deeply steeped in the world where music, content, and technology intersect, I've always found that the real magic occurs when innovation takes root and becomes transformative. It doesn't just happen. Innovation mostly comes to life only after determined effort and generally interrupted by every obstacle one can think of. What is so remarkable about the MMRF is how in the hands of so few, so much has been done for so many. They've harnessed technology via the International Research and Community Gateway, sharing information globally in an unprecedented manner. As you've heard tonight, the MMRF continues to revolutionize research, not just for myeloma patients, but for cancer patients everywhere. Simply put, the innovative, collaborative model has ignited the world of cancer research. Kathy Giusti, sitting over there, you are truly a force of nature, and it's a privilege for me to have been able to watch and have a front row seat as I see you and your team take on this life-saving mission. You really are making the impossible possible. So talking about this team, I do want to acknowledge you, Michael Reinert, tonight's gala chair. What is so remarkable about you, Michael, is that no matter how tough a day you are having as you fight your personal battle with myeloma, you're always indefatigable as you go about your journey. On the other hand, you're the only music industry lawyer that I know who has a night job performing on Broadway. So, to the MMRF and the TouchTunes teams that worked so tirelessly to make this gala evening so special. Anne, Amy, Jerry, Raven, Vicky, your commitment and dedication has been a pleasure to behold. So tonight, in accepting the MMRF's Courage and Commitment Award, let me just say that I do so on behalf of all of you on the front line of this quest for a cure. When I think of courage and commitment, I think of you, Kathy Giusti. I think of you, Michael Reinert. I think of you, Trevor Hutchins, and so many others. I think of all of you who are committed to making a difference in beating myeloma on behalf of the many who face this battle. Tonight is special for me for another reason. Music has always played a very big part in my life. And last year's Spirit of Hope honoree, Clive Davis, as you now all know, played a very large part in my musical journey. But so did you, Berry Gordy, tonight's Spirit of Hope honoree. As a youngster, living in the bushveld of South Africa, we had one radio station that we could listen to if we wanted to listen to music. We did not have TV in South Africa in those days. The government thought it would be corrupting, so we weren't allowed to have it. But we had our one radio station. And one weekend, listening to the top 40 countdown, I had this little transistor radio, and my twin brother and I would sit with a radio, and we would listen to one song after another. But they played two great songs in a row one night, Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On and Stevie Wonder's Superstition. It was then as a little kid, not much older than my daughters, that I thought, what a great country America must be to be able to shepherd such magnificent music across the oceans. They were your artists, Barry, and it was then that I knew someday I would come to America. And so I did. So, congratulations to you on your honor tonight as well. There are a few other people that I would like to thank tonight. To my TouchTunes management team, we've had quite a run together so far. We've transformed our industry, and we did it as a consequence of your unrelenting commitment and effort. And I hope that the years to come will be as rewarding for all of us as the last few years have been. Thank you to you. You've made this journey special. To tonight's dinner co-chairs, Monty Lipman and Rick Grimm, thank you for your efforts in making this night so special. Everyone in this room is going to be thanking you once they see what entertainment we have lined up tonight. So thank you to you. And of course, so very close to my heart, I must thank my spectacular family. To my in-laws, Ray and Lois Caldero, it really is very simple. Thank you for convincing your daughter that I should be the one. It didn't have to end that way. To my magnificent daughters, Catherine and Olivia, you are a greater gift to a father than I could ever have imagined. When you two came into the world, I always thought that my task was going to be to teach you to always be your best. But a funny thing happened along the way. Every morning when I walk out the door, I think to myself, how you inspire me to always be my best. You really have turned the tables on me. And for that matter, you always seem to be a step ahead of me. And you, my dearest Karen, I have been blessed to have been able to chase my windmills with you at my side. You've always let me do that. You've always supported me, and you've made life so easy for me. You give to everyone, and you never ask for favor in return. I still pinch myself when I think how lucky I am to have you in my life. Or should I say, for me to be in your life. So, in closing, let me just say this. To Kathy, Justy, and your team, your slogan back here is about joining this revolution. I've been part of a few revolutions in my time. Clive talked about one of them. We had a real revolution that was very successful and hair-raising. Your revolution is as special as anything that I've ever been involved with. And I must say, when I see 1,200 people here tonight, everyone rooting for the MMRF, this revolution is going to make a difference. And for me, it's not just about what you do for myeloma. It's what you're going to do for research and for fighting cures in every sphere of the medical profession. Because when they see what you are doing and when they follow your lead, and what I said earlier about being an innovator and having the obstacles in front of you every single day, you, Kathy, and your team, you face those obstacles every day. But there'll come a time when it will all seem normal, and there will be hundreds of organizations like the MMRF doing exactly what you are doing. So, 1998 was a special year. That's when Clive and I got together. That's when you, Kathy, started the MMRF. Funny enough, that's when TouchTunes started its life. So I'm hoping that the next 15 years will bring as much of a miracle as what the MMRF has brought to our communities over the last 15 years. So I am looking forward to having that ringside seat for the next 15 years because I know they are going to be magical, and I know collectively the MMRF and all of you and all of those who care about myeloma will help find that cure. Thank you.